Hello everybody, this is Obi here with Lion Strong Fitness Global, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in for another video, guys. I'm excited to tackle this topic. Once again, guys, I'm going to always say this, and you probably get sick of me hearing this, but I just want to always say thank you for watching my video, guys. You guys could be anywhere on the internet, watching whatever mindless entertainment, not getting value. I know my videos don't get the most views, but for those who do view it, I know you guys walk away getting a lot of value. And just so you guys know, just to plug in my other socials, I am heavily active on TikTok, where I post a lot of good information in 3-minute compacted videos in which you guys can utilize. I put out tons and tons of videos, so check that out. That's Lion Strong Fitness Global. Also on my Instagram, Lion Strong Fitness Global as well. And check out the website, lionstrongfitness.net. But anyway, guys, I'll just keep things over. Let's get into the video. So guys, we're gonna talk about a particular subject that or a phrase, I guess people would always say, you always want to work smarter, not harder. Now, I understand that, but when it comes to training, you also hear the phrase, you want to train smarter, not train harder. Guys, that's erroneous information, because this doesn't make sense to me, because it's not the fact you don't want to do that, but realistically speaking, you want to train harder and train smarter, okay? Because in order for you to progress, you're going to have to increase the workload, okay? You're going to have to get more creative as you continue to increase your training. Because the name of the game is, when you get to a certain level, when you become an expert, or you become a very adept when it comes to training, it's not so much about getting progress, because you've already mastered the type of intensity that you have to bring to stimulate the body. Obviously, the biggest thing is you want to be able to have that balance where you are assessing, fatigue. Fatigue. Okay, put it this way: the more you train, right, you are taking on a lot of fatigue. Okay, and then when that fatigue gets to a certain level, you're gonna run the risk of getting injured. A lot of athletes don't have an issue of being in good shape, right? That's easy considering how hard they train and the frequency in which they train. It's how can I train as hard as I can, okay, while minimizing injury. So just to kind of paint an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? So imagine a water bottle, right? It's a bottle of water. So fatigue is basically the water in the bottle, and the more you train, the fatigue gets higher and higher and higher. Now the problem now is when the fatigue begins to overload, that's when bad things happen. Okay, so but again, you don't want to take your foot off the gas when it comes to your training, especially when you're getting stronger, you're improving. That's exciting. You want to keep momentum going. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to do that. So guys, when it comes to my Lion Strong Fusion training methodologies, which is basically training to failure, and doing so in the concept of which you're combining strength training, resistance training, and you're also getting a tremendous amount of cardiovascular work simultaneously. Okay, that's key. And the reason why that's so key is because the whole idea is to keep your workouts under 30 minutes. Okay, I don't believe in going above. Okay, now if you want to do like a 10-minute, 15-minute workout, 20, that's great as well. All you need to do is just adjust the intensity. So basically, the shorter the workout takes, the more intense it has to be. In other words, you have to find and manipulate factors that's going to allow the workout to be just as, or almost as equivalently effective as the longer duration, which usually is the cutoff point is 30 minutes. So in other words, if I'm doing a 10-minute workout, which I do make custom programs for clients worldwide for 10-minute workouts, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm going to explain. So let's say I have a guy do 10 different exercises, and all the exercises, it comes out to exactly 10 minutes, not including rest periods. Okay. Now, when this person gets done with this workout, they're pooped, they're gassed, their heart rate's up, because I do pick movements that allow you to do that. Body is stimulated. That's the key to getting that done. Now, I like shorter workouts because, again, the thing that makes me apprehensive is injuries. Okay, people when they're training, they get hurt a lot. These are the same people who work out for an hour, 2 hours. And again, it's not just the time that they're working out, it's several factors. So guys, number one, everyone probably knows what cortisol is. And for those of you who don't know what cortisol is the natural stress hormone that the body releases whenever it experiences any type of negative things physically, okay, or anything that's tough on the body. It's not always negative. The moment you start working out, your body's releasing cortisol. So I like to compare that to like a shot clock in when like in a basketball game where a team has possession of the ball. The moment they touch the ball, they have 24 seconds to let off a shot, or the ball must touch the rim of the team that has the ball's basketball hoop for the clock to restart. Okay, so when it comes to this, people oftentimes when they start training, they're not aware of that internal shot clock. And I find that when you keep the workouts under a half hour, bad things don't happen. Okay, now the key is that how do you get to that half hour and make sure that you are spent? Okay, and now we're going to get into the movements that I pick. I like to make sure that I pick movements that I'm working multiple muscle groups at one time. These can be your squats or presses, your renegade rows, weighted burpees, jump squats, split jumps, bent over rows. You want to you want to prioritize movements that are multi-jointed movements, and you want to do them for, between 1 to 3 minutes, right? Keep the rest periods short. When it comes to training, I believe that the rest period should be shorter than the duration of the working set you just did, okay? And the reason why, because that's a for sure way to keep that heart rate up and keep it elevated. That's the key. So you guys, when the heart rate's elevated, it allows you to stay in that realm in which you're burning fat, because your metabolism is experiencing a disturbance that's uncomfortable and that's unsettling for it. And you want to continue to push that and push that. That way your body is forced to adapt, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is plateau, okay? So with that said, it's important to you maintain an environment to where you can get the most out of your training, and that allows you to keep your rest time short. Your body stays pumped up and warm, and you're focusing on just trying to get that burn in the muscle. And that's why, another reason why I believe in doing sets for time, is because what happens is when you start to go for a certain amount of time, the muscles will tend to fail out, and the body is naturally going to the body's going to start to ask other parts of the body, of other muscles, to assist with the muscle that's failed. So if I'm doing a bunch of pull-ups or a bunch of pulling movements, my biceps and my lats are going to get exhausted. So what's going to happen is, my rear delts might help out, my triceps might help out, other muscles start to help out. So now you already went from simulating a couple muscle groups, and now you're simulating more because they've burnt out, and that's another thing. So but yeah, guys, I don't want this video to be too long, but the biggest takeaway is you have to make sure that you're picking movements that gives you more bang for your buck. You're prioritizing keeping your workouts under 30 minutes. You're being mindful of that internal shot clock, which is the cortisol release, which is your body's stress hormone. And you want to make sure, what was the last one? You want to make sure that, yes, you're keeping your rest period shorter. So that way you can keep that blood elevated and keep your heart rate pumping, your blood pumping, and your heart rate elevated, because people oftentimes will do this. They will do a set. It's funny? Now, I thought of another one. So one thing people do that I noticed, they will do only like 10 reps. Everyone does their 3 sets to 10 because it works so well, right? It doesn't work. But they'll do like 10 reps, okay? And they'll sit on a machine, or they'll sit whatever for 3 minutes. So first of all, you should not be resting for that long ever, okay? I don't care if you're running rinse sprint. You should never do that, okay? And here's the thing. That 10 repetitions is not enough for the body to have that disturbance that we talked about. Your heart rate's not up by then, So because your heart rate's not up, you're not getting blood flow, right? And because you're not getting blood flow, what these guys do is they'll do a set of 10, rest for 2 minutes, their body gets colder, right? And then they proceed to do another set, and then they snap something or they hurt themselves. Well, because when you sit for that long, the muscles get cold. And as the old saying goes, warm taffy bends, cold taffy breaks. Every time you take these long rest periods, you're sitting on your phone, not doing nothing, and then you do a set and you wonder why something hurts, it's because you rested for too long. Okay, and people who do that stuff are typically in, they're training for a lot longer than what they should be. Okay, so guys, I hope that information helps. It's a lot of information, but it's kind of common sense, but I guess it's not because people don't think about it. But just know that when it comes to training, guys, shorter workouts, you can be more intense. And from a realistic standpoint, I mean, we don't all have the most time in the day, so we have to make the most of what we got. And I find that these workouts work the best. And guys, if you guys check out the link in the comments, that'll take you to my website where you can obtain a Lion Strong Fusion Training Series program. I have levels 1 through 7. They're amazing workouts and they embody all the things that I described. And I highly recommend you guys check it out to get stuff. I do also do global training and coaching for people worldwide. I help them with their training programs. I customize them, making sure that you're doing stuff that follows the principle that we described, but you're getting the results is what matters the most. As far as nutrition coaching, I do that as well. So I just try to be well-versed with providing service and value for all you guys. But yeah, with that said, all the information is going to be in the description of the video, and also I'll link a link to the comments. But guys, with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Hope it was helpful. Make sure you, as soon as you turn this off, you apply it today. Don't just let it sit in your mind. Don't just say you're gonna do it later. Do it now, okay? The sooner you do it, the better, okay? Guys, be sure to like the video. I would really appreciate if you like the video, please. And subscribe, and I'll be coming out with more content. Check out my YouTube shorts. I put out tons of them. And check out my other social media links. Everything's at Lion Strong Fitness Global, guys. You guys take care. Have a good day.